Well folks, Buster and I are very warm and cozy inside my editing suite here, but outside it's 12 or 13 degrees or some ridiculous freaking number like that. That's not going to stop us from shooting an air gun today. I'm going to go warm up the air lodge and shoot the 17 caliber Cometa Fenix, a break barrel air rifle that I think is a real hidden gem among spring rifles. So let's go ahead and see how she shoots. Buster, you want to go out? Want to go out? You want to sleep? What do you want to do? I think you'd rather sleep. Since I got the Cometa Fenix several months ago, I've put about 750, 800 rounds through it, so it's almost broken in. I like to give a spring rifle about 2,000 rounds before it's nicely broken in, but this will be the first time I'll be putting a scope on it. I've just been plinking in the backyard using the open sights, shooting at spinners. So now we're really going to see what kind of accuracy this thing has. The first thing we're going to do though is we're going to tighten up all the bolts, put a little grease here and there, make sure things are working properly, and then we'll see what kind of accuracy she gets. In preparation for shooting spring rifles, whether they're new or an old favorite, I check to make sure the screws that hold the action to the stock are tightened. If it's a new rifle, I'll clean the barrel to remove any debris left over from manufacturing. I mounted an Optison Cobra 3-9x42 scope on the Fenix using a BKL 260 unitized dovetail mount. The scope is highly resistant to shock and rated for both spring rifles and firearms. I'll be checking out the entire line of Optison scopes on this season of Airgun Reporter and give you my observations and opinions on their most popular models. With 6 clamping screws on the BKL dovetail mount, I'm confident this setup will be solid as a rock, and they are the only mounts and rings I trust using on my spring rifle collection. I set up the Pro Chrono Digital, hooked it up to my laptop, and began my testing using JSB RS exact pellets. The average velocity was 920 feet per second, yielding close to 14 foot-pounds of energy. The extreme spread was a respectable 15 feet per second with a standard deviation of 4 FPS. Next up were the Barracuda Match pellets. These heavier pellets gave me an average of 823 feet per second and 16 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. The extreme spread was a bit wider at 23 FPS. The Fenix 400 breaks open very smooth and locks back up solid, a sure sign of quality craftsmanship. There's no metallic twang or sharp vibration to rattle your teeth and cheekbone when fired, an experience I've had with some Turkish and Chinese springers. It really does deliver a pleasant shooting experience. Notice the way I'm holding the forestock here. The back of my hand is rested on the bag, and the rifle is balancing on my middle and fourth finger, with my index finger and thumb barely touching the stock. I snugged up the recoil pad firmly but not too tight against my shoulder, a hold that this rifle seemed to prefer with my style of bench shooting. I often switch between this type of hold and resting the forestock completely on my open palm. The Optison Cobra scope I'm using for the first time surprised me with its very clear glass and solid turret knobs with positive clicks. For a budget scope, they sure didn't skimp on the optics and engineering. In my opinion, it's a great matchup with the Fenix 400. The Cometa Fenix's two-stage adjustable trigger was not overlooked in the design of this rifle. I found it to be refined and responsive, with a first stage pull that lets off into a crisp and light second stage. Out of the box, I estimated that the Fenix was breaking at about 18 to 20 ounces. Now that it has close to 900 rounds through it, the trigger was even lighter when tested, giving me an average of 11.8 ounces. The Fenix's loudness was typical for a spring rifle without silencing technology and given its power class. With my decibel meter about 3 feet from the muzzle, the highest sound pressure reading I achieved was 99.1 decibels. Folks, the Cometa Fenix 400 has very good accuracy thanks to a smooth action power plant and a refined trigger. The hardwood stock gives the rifle a sophisticated, well-balanced look and feel, and you'd be pleasantly surprised by the overall fit and finish of the metal. The stop pinhole on the optic rail is undersized and would require you to grind down the pin on scope mounts that use them. Like I said earlier, the Spanish-made Cometa Fenix is truly a hidden gem, designed and built with admirable dedication, pride, and craftsmanship. I have to say, I'm really looking forward to shooting and testing more Cometa airguns in the near future. For Airgun Reporter, my name is Paul Capello. Until next time, shoot safe and have fun.
Please remember, folks, airguns are not toys. Even the smallest calibers can cause serious harm if not used properly. And you should never, under any circumstance, point an airgun at another person. Parents, if you teach your children to shoot responsibly, they will have a lifetime of airgun enjoyment.